We're covering the C40 Cities Mayor Summit, which is taking place in Johannesburg in South Africa. And before this particular summit, there were only 3 African cities that belonged to this grouping. A new member that's just joined is Dar es Salaam alongside Cape Town. And to talk to us a little bit about why they've joined and what they hope to get out of this grouping is the Mayor, Dr. Didas Massaburi. Thank you very much indeed for joining us and welcome. Dar es Salaam, the newest member to the C40 cities. Why did you decide to join?
There were several things that made us join the C40 group. One and the foremost important thing is to join the group of mega cities, because Dar es Salaam is also growing at a very high speed. And we believe that Dar es Salaam, being the major contributor to the national GDP, then we are sure that if we can change in Dar es Salaam, then most of the Tanzanian people will change. And Dar es Salaam is affected very much by the impact of climate change. We can give some examples. For example, in the year towards the end of year 2012, we had a very big floods in Dar es Salaam, which affected people, and some of the people's life were claimed through the climate change. So this is why we said we have to join this group of winners, so that we can also use the methodologies and share experiences, learn from our colleagues on how they fight against the impact of climate change around the world.
What are some of the projects that you've already employed in Dar es Salaam to try and deal with some of the challenges you're facing?
Yeah, there are many projects that we are implementing in Dar es Salaam, which are climate change related projects. The C40 is actually dealing with around 7 thematic areas. Dar es Salaam have picked several of them, and we've already started implementing some of the projects. One is on the area of solid waste management, where we want to change our dump site to be a modern landfill that is aiming at producing the renewable energy for the city, and also to develop a composting plant that will produce fertilizers from the market-related products. On transportation, we are currently implementing the rapid transit, which I think in Johannesburg has already started. We are expecting that towards the end of this year, maybe the first phase of the project will start operating. From this project, we expect to reduce around 3,000 private sector driven buses, which are polluting a lot of environment in the city. We'll introduce the buses that are compatible to the climate change fuel, etc. In regards to the community slum areas, we are upgrading slum areas in the city of Dar es Salaam, which is in fact involving the community to plan themselves, and the city is assisting in upgrading by putting relevant infrastructure, putting markets, and also involving the community in adaptation of the climate change.
You say involving the community. Are you finding that your citizens are becoming more and more aware of climate change and the things that citizens can do to help reduce that?
Yes, the citizens in Dar es Salaam actually knows a lot on climate change, because it has claimed some of the life of the people. And they are seeing the impact of the climate change. The floods related, the droughts, as well as some of the lung-related diseases which are coming right now. That implies that there are a lot of emission of greenhouse gases in the city. So the city actually knows what are the negative impact of the climate change. And we have already introduced the greening of Dar es Salaam city, and we are involving the community in collecting some of the market-related waste, and compost them so that they can use the same in urban farming. So they see the results. They create jobs through small groups that are farming, producing some vegetables, and small crops in the city.
Tell me about your trip to Johannesburg. What things have you seen that have piqued your interest that you might want to take back to Dar es Salaam? And is there anything that Johannesburg can learn from you?
Yes, we can learn from the Johannesburg's strategy to accommodate the private sector buses and taxis within the framework of the public transport through the BRT. That is a challenge that is facing Dar es Salaam right now, because the private sector who are owning buses, private buses in the city, they are resistant to the introduction of the BRT. So we want to learn the methodology and the techniques and the strategies that Johannesburg used to engage these people so that they accepted the rapid transit in this city. But again, I'm not sure how did Johannesburg worked with the slum areas in this city, but I think our approach, which has been financed by the World Bank, can be also a learning lesson to the Johannesburg on how to involve the community in planning themselves so that they accept the project and the infrastructure is constructed within the areas that are slum, and some of the people are accepting on their own, willing to remove their houses so that we can construct the drainage system, we can construct the roads, communication systems and markets, water, services, etc. So I think they can learn from the community improvement, community infrastructure upgrading project, which is being implemented in phases in Dar es Salaam.
Well, the mayor of Dar es Salaam, one of the newest cities to join the C40 cities, thank you very much indeed for joining us and sharing your thoughts with us. We wish you the best of luck.